government spending is expected to lift Australia's struggling GDP figures to be released later on this morning, but not by March. Kenny Heatley is live for us in Sydney today. So, Kenny, good morning. What are economists expecting when that GDP number is released in, 3-4 hours' time?
Yeah, that's right, Pete. It's not by much, as you say. We could see a quarterly increase up to about 0.5 or 0.6%. The annual figure for GDP may come out about 1.1%, which is an increase of 1% in the June quarter, which is still the slowest rate of growth since the 1990s recession. But if you see this graph here, the last 3 quarters, the growth has been extremely weak at 0.2%. So why this little uptick in GDP figures now? Well, the single biggest driver in economic growth for the September quarter is rapidly rising government spending. In fact, combined state and federal government spending reached $195.8 billion in the September quarter. Now, that represents an 8% increase from this time last year and a 3% increase from the June quarter. A lot of this comes down to an increase in defence spending, also infrastructure and energy, ballooning state wages, public sector wages bills as they ink new enterprise agreements with the unions. And also we had the stage 3 tax cuts. It was the first quarter that they started to filter through the economy as well. But what it means is that government spending was poised to hit a record 27.8% of GDP in the September quarter. That's up from 27.3% in June. So why does it matter? Well, basically, the government is borrowing a lot of money to account for this increased spending. Net government borrowing reached $40 billion for the September quarter. And then you have to think, how does the RBA respond to this? Last month, the RBA indicated that they had underestimated the rapid rise in state and federal government spending, which creates demand in the economy. And most economists expect that that has prolonged the RBA's fight against inflation. And the consensus is that we won't be seeing an interest rate cut until after the election next year, which has to occur on or before May 17. So, Pete, we'll get some reaction to those GDP figures later this morning.
Beautiful shot out there this morning in Sydney. Kenny, what's the weather like? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it windy? Is it raining? What's happening?
It's been so hot the last couple of days.
Sure has.
Temperatures have come down a little bit, which is great in the suit. A little bit cloudy, but it's a nice breeze this morning.
Good for you. Kenny, thank you so much.